Joined now by Philonise Floyd, George Floyd's brother, also with the civil rights attorney, Benjamin Crump, one of the lawyers representing the Floyd family. And Philonise, I'll start with you. First, how are you feeling today? You know, as this trial process starts, how are you holding up?
The protesters, they have me feeling really great because I have people who feel the same way I feel. We all want justice. We all looking for a conviction.
Philonise, this is going to be a long process. The public and lawyers there will be picking apart something very painful, very personal for you and your family. What do you expect is going to be the hardest part of this trial for you personally?
Probably just sitting in there, just looking and then engaging and just making sure that, hoping that these jurors fight. Because you seen the video. My brother was tortured to death while he had a smirk on his face. And if you can't get justice in America for that, what can you get justice for?
Ben Crump, to Philonise's point there, millions around the world have seen the video. What is the case that the prosecution must make, and what do you expect to hear from the defense?
It's very straightforward, Craig. The prosecutor's case is the video. The fact that this officer tortured an unarmed, handcuffed man who was face down while he begged 28 times to be able to breathe. The people on the streets, everybody knew that he was being killed. They even told him so, but Chauvin refused to take his knee off his neck. And in fact, officers who were out on the scene backed the public up when they tried to help give George Floyd a chance to live. And so that's the case straightforward for the prosecutors. All the elements are there, as Philonise said. The defense is going to do what we've seen them do to Trayvon, to Michael Brown, to Philando Castile, everybody. They're going to try to attack the character of George Floyd. I was in law school, Craig. They taught us in trial practice, if you have the facts on your side, then argue the facts. If you don't have the facts on your side, then try to attack the character of your opponent in hopes that it will distract people from the facts. So we have to make sure, no matter what they say about George Floyd, we are not distracted from what we see on that video.
A lot of folks, Ben, I think, are probably unaware that in the state of Minnesota, and this isn't the case in the majority of states in this country, but in the state of Minnesota, and you correct me if I'm wrong here, my understanding is that the actual act, the knee on the neck, they don't have to prove that was the sole cause of death. They only have to prove that that was a substantial contributing factor to his death. Is that your understanding of the law? And if that's the case, what does that then mean for the prosecution? Does it make their case any easier?
Well, that is accurate, Craig. And that's why it was so important reinstating the third-degree murder charge, because what Attorney General Keith Ellison, him and his team are the prosecutors in this matter, representing the state of Minnesota against Derek Chauvin to make sure he's criminally liable for the death of George Floyd, and they're zealously doing so. So what they are doing, Craig, is saying that we want the jury to have options. Second-degree murder, third-degree murder, manslaughter, aggravated manslaughter. We want them to look at each element of each charge and check the box. If he's guilty of second degree, you can find him guilty for that. If he's guilty of third degree, you can find him guilty for that. If he's guilty of manslaughter, just like they do so many times when they charge people in marginalized communities. They throw the whole book at them, and the jury will decide every element that fits that they can be found guilty of.
Philonise, last week the judge ruled that one member of your brother's family at a time will be allowed to attend the trial. Your sister Bridget is in attendance today, as I understand it. Different family members will be able to rotate. This also applies to former Officer Chauvin's family as well. How does your family feel about that decision?
We wish we could have more in the courtroom. Definitely that. We need to have family together at a time like this because we have a hole in our heart. We'll never get our brother back. He's forever gone. His kids, we have a lot to talk about with each other. So anytime you have somebody that you care about that's with you when you're going through things like this, it's always a plus. But we'll get through it because we have faith and we have faith in our team too. So confidence, we have all of that.
You testified, Philonise, before Congress last June after your brother's death, and you said bluntly, I'm tired of the pain you felt for your brother, the pain you feel every time another black person is killed. You said, stop us from being tired, stop the pain. How much of a step forward to stopping the pain is this trial for you, Philonise?
Like I said once before, I'm optimistic about everything that's going on. I just want justice. I want a conviction. That was a modern day lynching. My brother should still be here. And the facts show on the video that he complied. He was standing up at the time, and all of a sudden, he was in the prone position with his face down. And he screamed out, "Mama." He said, "Tell my kids I love them." Facts. You can't get from that. That is the key to everything. He was a living human being who was killed in broad daylight in front of people who was trying to render aid, but nobody accepted that. Nobody.
Philonise Floyd, thank you. Ben Crump, big thanks to you as well. Thank you both. And our thoughts will be with you and your family, Philonise, over the next few weeks and months. That's going to do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank all of you out there.
Thank you as always.
Thanks to you at home.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for letting us into your homes during these extraordinary times.